if I can't help falling in love with you. Wow, that seems like a really, it seems like such a, it's supposed to be beautiful. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a great Sunday night. We thought we'd open our Sunday night show a little different tonight. Since it is Valentine's Day, we wanted to share some love and some beautiful thoughts and positivity out there.
Well, I really wanted to create a theme song and us come in with a theme song.
But we don't have enough time today to create a theme song.
But I was telling you we should come in with a theme song every day and everyone's going to dance on screen while we're singing our theme song.
We might be cheesy enough to come up with a theme song. And I love the signs, everybody. Everybody's signs that you posted up, like Happy Valentine's Day. That was awesome. I think that was so much fun. So hopefully we can have we'll get creative and we'll have that as part of the show from now on. Thank you so much, Ed. And who are you? You're not introducing yourself?
I'm Nick.
And I'm Jean-Luc.
We're the Wellness Warriors.
Or also known as the WW Base.
Thank you for joining our Fireside chat. I bet we got lost.
We forgot the fire.
Fire's not plugged in tonight. It's a little down.
It's too warm in our condo. We figured out the heating situation.
No, we've been pretty busy the whole weekend, guys. It's like once you run through everything we've done, it's just we've been on the go constantly. And we were still running around. We just got dressed and we're like, oh my God, let me get on.
And it's really funny because the more you run around, the more energy you have, the more things you want to do. It's as soon as you find that moment of sitting down and taking a break, that's when you're like, how am I gonna do it? But if you keep moving, like it just feels like you want to keep doing stuff. So
yeah, so today, happy Valentine's Day, everyone out there, if you celebrate or don't. We actually have a story to share with you guys. It's a Valentine's Day story.
Some of you have heard it before, I'm sure. But those of you have been following us for a while. But
this is the story of how Jean-Luc proposed to Nick.
And it's kind of funny because Valentine's, as I was mentioning earlier before we went live, that we've never really celebrated Valentine's Day. It was never a big deal until Nick's best friend in high school and my cousin, who happens to be the same person, their parents threw him and his partner a surprise wedding reception in Sudbury in, oh my goodness, what year was this? 2009? No.
2009.
2009. And so we were invited to go. And on the way home, later on that evening, we all went to a bar because it was a small house reception. And on our way home from the bar, we were walking, being very, very precautious because we would never drink and drive, of course. And as we're walking down the street, Nick
I tell him, and I can see some Sudbury people in the chat room here. I can see Kim right there. I told him, I'm from Sudbury. Walk on the street. The sidewalk is full of ice. You'll slip and fall. What did he do?
I was with my cousin and her then partner, and we were walking down the street, and I swear we were fine.
No, the sidewalk.
We were walking on the sidewalk, not the street. I apologize. We were on the sidewalk, and I slipped, fell, and this is the reason why I have as I call it, it's no longer my straight wrist. It's my gay wrist, so because it's crooked. But and I was gay way before the wrist situation. That has nothing to do with it. But
so the story continues. Jean-Luc fell on his butt like this, and he was heavy at the time because we were both in the 280 range.
I lost a little bit of weight then.
No, not much.
Not much. You were. I was thinner
because it was when we first met. So Jean-Luc basically broke his wrist, but we were in Sudbury, and for those in Sudbury know.
Sound is going. You
guys not hear us now?
Why? How? We haven't changed anything. That's very strange. Thank you for the warning, but we haven't changed anything. That's the weird part.
Test.
Can you hear us better there?
You guys hear us good now?
Is that better now? Okay.
I'm never using that microphone again.
This is ridiculous. Sorry about that.
So as we were saying, so what we ended up happening is we were in Sudbury, and because of the hospitals in Sudbury, for those who live there, you go to the emergency, it takes 12 hours to get through.
It's not the best emergency room.
And so I knew this. I'm like, if we go back to Toronto where we live, you'll get in quicker, and we're going back the next day anyway. So we went back to bed. Jean-Luc was in pain. We gave him Tylenols. We gave him, he was basically very. I
was medicated.
He was very medicated and still a little intoxicated. So he was completely a little.
I hadn't kept drinking.
And Jean-Luc was like this to me. Oh, my life. Because remember, Jean-Luc is a sign language interpreter. He needs his hands to work. And so in his mind, he's like, my life is over. I have no future. I need insurance. Will you marry me? at 2 a.m. while he's on, medication, asks me to marry him. I said, sure, honey, go to sleep. So he went to bed. The next morning, I asked him, do you remember asking me last night that you proposed?
I remembered.
And he did. And
he said yes. And then now,
yes.
boom, 12 years.
And I just remembered I sent him on the link.
And it's actually kind of funny because that was that night after that happened and how he took care of me. I knew he would take care of me forever. And I honestly knew that was the moment where in my mind was, I can't hide him from my parents. Like it was such a weird revelation in my head that day. And so as much as it's so funny how we were so anti-Valentine's Day that this all happened around Valentine's Day. So now we really can't hate the day anymore because it's still part of our story now.
And we thought we'd share you guys, the Valentine's Day, because it is Valentine's Day. We've never had a show on actual Valentine's Day, so it's kind of
I made these hearts myself, people.
That's why we're so busy. That's why there's no fire.
Tissue paper. Thank goodness for tissue paper.
So celebrations, everyone. Please share your celebrations in chat, on Facebook, on YouTube, in Zoom. Please start sharing them. And for us, I was up 2.2. So in the video we filmed, it said 0.4. I said locally, but I went to calculate it later. It was 2.2. So he lost 2.2. I gained 2. We basically just swapped.
Yeah, we just swapped. And not understanding still, guys. And it's a mystery. It is sometimes a mystery. We know though. I cannot explain it. I think sometimes things happen where you just don't know. And what my thing is we know we need to get back into tracking and get back into gear, because if we don't, it could catch up. And we want to be able to prevent that from happening. So we need to,
we'll actually give you guys more of a kind of a weekly update right now. As you guys are sharing your story, I have it queued up. So we're actually smart because we're going to share a story and then we're going to do all the celebration. So we're trying to make it better, guys. So one thing that happened this week is on Monday, the new body set class came out. And you guys know how much we love our set class. So it came out number 120. We tried it on Monday. It was great. We did it Tuesday. It was great. And then Wednesday, I had a really sharp pain in my stomach. I couldn't figure out why. I would bend down and I would be in agony the amount of pain I was. And Jean-Luc also had a pain on his side.
On my side. And oh my God, my side is aching.
And I just couldn't work out. So we took the day off. We still tracked. We still did everything correctly. Following day, same thing. I still had the pain. It ended up going away. I think it was, well, I know what it was. You guys can probably guess what it was. But there was just basically a traffic jam, if I want to make it polite. There was a traffic jam. And so I'm fine now. So, but what happened is that by Wednesday, Thursday, we took breaks, 3 days for working out. We also started eating a bit more of our points by the end of the week. And so we are human. We are not perfect. We tell you guys this every week. We know ourselves. We struggle with this for our entire lives. I envy people who tell us that I can always track. I'm always within my blue dot. I can do this every week. We can't. We have to do the teeter-totter roller coaster because we know we have an addiction. It's very hard for us to always stick to it, but you know what? We never give up. And if you're a person like us, don't give up. It doesn't mean that now we're done. We started back up as of today. So
I think the message behind that is, again, everyone's journey is individual. So don't let anybody else's journey dictate yours. Take your own road and drive down it and experience the flat tires and the bumps and the stuff. It's going to happen no matter which way you look at it.
Exactly.
But it's how you learn from those moments and how you just grow. And we keep growing all the time and we're never going to stop.
So in Zoom, if anyone wants to chat with us tonight, we're going to be talking about the topics of the week. So sitting and also the new topic about tracking. So if you want to chat with us tonight, raise your hand. We're also going to start sharing some celebrations.
Definitely. So I have a bunch of people here on Facebook.
Rosie's back in Wonderland. Danielle's active this week, down 2.6. Go ahead.
Donna here's down 2.5.
0.8 for Elan.
Kathleen did 5 out of 7 days walking.
Sarah gained 0.1 tenth of a pound, which is ridiculous. I agree, 0.1 pound.
And Donna loves your traffic jam story.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, anytime.
So Patricia's lost.
I was going to just say he had a really good BM. But that would have been me.
Donna's down 3.1, down 0.3 for Carol. 3rd week of maintenance complete. Woo woo, Carol!
That's amazing, Carol.
1.6 for Monique. Leslie 1.6, dry February, another week for Anne.
That's
Arlene
awesome.
1.9, almost close, 1.9 from 90, 25,000 steps for Jen, little one. Sarah's at down 0.6. There's so many celebrations, even on YouTube. There's Diane's down 3.2 this week for 2024 and 2021 so far.
That's insane, Diane. That's amazing.
So yes, people are still laughing about my track. Sorry.
We kept playing with the same.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of
I
this.
was trying to get
Everybody's
down to
saying
YouTube.
focus. Everybody's saying focus on fiber. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No more traffic jam when I know I'm really late, and no smoking sign on my cigarette break.
Ah.
So people might get.
Or a black fly in his Chardonnay.
Yeah. So since thank you so much for sharing your celebration. So since the days that
One more. Down 1.5.
Woo! I loved hearing your celebrations, guys. If you still keep sharing them, others will see them in chat and they'll congratulate you. And we on Facebook, if you share it there, we'll see it later. So we'll congratulate you later. So by Friday, we're still doing our break, but we went to the groceries and we decided tomorrow we're still not going to work out.
Yeah, we were going to take tomorrow out over.
But we were going to start on Sunday. That was our plan. Saturday morning, we woke up. We did a workshop.
So we're sitting in the workshop about sitting.
And we forgot what the topic was. So we're sitting
forgot.
down and like, oh, it's sitting week. Oh, stand up,
Stand
push
up.
the chair.
So we
That was number one. And then we're standing there.
And then we did the entire workshop.
Yeah.
And then I ended up running to the washroom real quick. And as I come out of the washroom, I turned to Nick and I'm like, I think we need to work out. He's like, I was thinking the same thing.
So we worked out Saturday.
And
We
it was-
actually did it.
Yeah.
We started. And again, our tracking, we had Thai food last night.
Yep.
We had Thai food. So we didn't track that well yesterday, but activity came back, right? Tomorrow or today, we did our full activity day. I have my calories. I have my stand. I have everything
I
today.
need 2 hours to stand.
We had pizza today, though. Again, not a good food day. But tomorrow we are going right back to full tracking. It's already said and done. And the one thing I'm proud of us is that even though yesterday we had Thai food, we didn't have lunch, then Thai, then snacks. We had Thai food for lunch that we stretched to dinner, and then we barely had snacks last night.
Had anything other than that. Yeah.
And so we actually used what we had and still stretched it out. We used the trick that we talked about in one of the workshops last week about snacking, about taking your dinner or your meal, tracking it, and then splitting it up into multiple
Not
meals.
eating it all in one sitting.
Not eating it all in one sitting. That's one of the tricks that we started using a lot of. You can do it at restaurants too.
Yep.
If you go to a restaurant, take the takeout container, well, maybe not as much now, but soon when things open back up, take the takeout container, put half your meal in it right away when you get there, and then eat what you have and then have something for later.
And we completely understand for those who say, wow, I could never do that. Again, if it's something you know you're not able to do, we're not saying that it needs to be done.
Yeah.
What we love to emphasize is make this your journey. Make this yours, because it's all about what you can do and what fits in your lifestyle.
Yeah, and that's why, like, for us, we know ourselves. Like, we talk about this 80-20 a lot because we know that we can't be 100. It's something that it's not possible for us. Like, I can see right now in Zoom right now, Ellen's here, and I know Ellen's she's very good at being on track. Like, she's one that's very good and rich.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation with her because her pillar it wasn't mindset, the pill that she had the most struggle with. Hers was another one. It was activity, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm actually going to bring Ellen up now because she has her hand up. Hey, Ellen.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Good. You know, I was laughing. I never heard the issue referred to as a traffic jam, but I love that. And I have to say, I don't think your issue is fiber. I think your issue is that you ate a lot of fiber and you didn't drink enough water, but that's another thing. But I have to say, this week's weigh-in for me was very weird because I had a tremendous amount of activity points because I shoveled snow twice. And I have a driveway.
Ellen, sorry. We've been sending
I'm sorry?
We've been sending the Canada snow from Toronto down to you. Yeah, keep it.
I have a driveway that's 3 cars wide and 4 lengths.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And my neighbor has the same, and my neighbor is 85.
Wow.
So on the first snow, I didn't really need to shovel it. It kind of disappeared, but I shoveled it anyway. I figured, okay, good fit points, you know? So I didn't do my neighbor's, but the second snow was extremely heavy. And I did that. So, you know, my reward for myself is that I had stromboli, which I don't know if you know what stromboli is. It's like pizza dough, and they take it and they put meat and cheese and sauce inside and then fold it over, and it's shaped kind of like a crescent.
Oh, so it's almost like what we would call a panzerotti or a pizzone type of deal.
Okay. And the one that I calculated was 51 points for one. And I'm on purple. So what I did was I had one day that I was very high in points and I had half of it. And it fits into a small pizza box diagonally. That's how big they are.
Wow.
And so I had half of one day, and then the next day I actually calculated the points. I had whatever was left after my husband had some from that other half, and he probably had about a quarter of it. So, but I counted it as a third rather than a quarter.
Right.
But I fit that one into my budget. So the one day I went over, but I had so many fit points. So anyway, Saturday comes and I go and I weigh on the scale, and I'm at home. I calculated that I was down half a pound. Then I had my coffee and I went to the studio. And according to the studio, I was up 1 pound, which is fine. I'm still, below my goal weight, whatever. I'm finding the scale more interesting as I'm going along in my journey rather than letting it rule my life. So then I came home after I went food shopping after the studio. And then I came home and I was down 1.5 pounds from the week before. And I hadn't eaten or drank anything. So what is it? Did I lose 1.5 pounds from letting my coffee go?
Yeah, it's like us for the last 2 weeks. Last week, we didn't track that well, and then I lost weight and he gained. And then this week, it was kind of like the same thing happened. We didn't really do everything 100%, and he lost this week, and I gained. So it's such a science. Our bodies are so weird that you can't expect that whatever we do 1 week will affect that 1 week or that one moment. What you do now might do something in 2 weeks from now. What you do next might do something tomorrow. It's based on what things you're doing that interact differently in different ways along the way.
And that's why I always say that regardless of what's going on, because I'm sure I also had some inflammation going on from all the snow shoveling I was doing.
Yeah.
So, that's why it reinforces in my brain that there's so many factors that affect the weight loss, and really just to keep trusting myself and following my journey.
And I love that you said that. Trust yourself and follow your journey.
Yeah.
You know what? Those are words to live by, because I think a lot of times we think we need to answer to somebody else, but the only person we need to answer to is you. You answer to yourself. No one else should be telling you what to do or how to do it. You should not feel that because someone is doing something, you need to be doing what they're doing, or you need to be on the same level as what they're doing. None of us are ever going to be able to do that. That's not how things work.
Yeah.
And when you get that, it's like, wow, that's that moment. It's a big aha moment. Thank you so much for sharing, Ellen.
You're welcome. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. So one thing that I wanted to touch upon was that we visited a lot of workshops this weekend. So what's funny about the workshops when we do them and we do our shows is that we get the last week's workshop for most of the week, and then we switch on Sunday.
So we get the new topics.
So we get both topics. We can touch upon last week's topic a bit more, and then still talk about the new topic before most of you get to actually get the topic.
We get the new topic twice because it
comes
next week again.
So the first topic last week was sitting, making yourself, improving ways to help you get up. And we talked about it, I think, a bit last week. We touched on how we started by doing our laundry upstairs.
And I mentioned the 5 Ds. Not to use the five Ds to avoid snacking, apply it to the 5 Ds to avoid sitting.
So delay, distract, deep breath, discuss,
drink water.
Yeah.
It still works to avoid from sitting. It makes you want to go do something else instead of going to sit right away.
And then this week's topic, which is funny. So we log on to this morning's workshop. The first workshop today was Kitchener with Lisa, who's here tonight, and Andrea. Andrea's the coach, and Lisa's, I think, co-coach. I think they both run the meeting together. And so we pop on and they're like, oh, today's topic is tracking. And we're like, oh, crap. What? Who? What's the topic? As you all know.
Sorry, we joined the wrong workshop.
So as you all know, our tracking is the worst thing, like our worst skill. I'll say our worst skill on our WW journey. We have skills in activity. We are very good activity people. We can always find a way to be active. Well, even if we get up and just dance, we are good at doing that. Mindset, we are good at, pumping ourselves up, having you guys to help us, the community, we're good at that. But when it comes to
tracking for some good reason is it's something that I don't even know. I cannot explain it.
Well, we'll talk about what we talk about in workshops this week a bit to you guys, because you might hear this story again if you see us again next week. But so when we started WW back in 2009, the program was on the phone. It was digital, but the program was all like green. The program is very similar to what green is today. So you have to track all your meats, all your beans, your corn, exactly. You guys know how much we love corn. We actually stopped eating corn at that point because it was points.
Yeah, I'm not.
We actually got rid of corn because we thought, why have the points for it? What's the point, right? We stopped eating soybeans. We stopped eating edamame, all the things that had points because our mindset was that's points and I'd rather spend it on chips or a snack. And so our mindset was like that. And we did that for 6 years. When we joined in 2018, that's when Freestyle came out, which is now Blue. Blue program changed things for us because we are horrible trackers. We are not good at tracking. So for us, green is too rigid and too hard for us to keep track. So we choose Blue.
And what Blue allowed us to do is go into saying, okay, I don't need to track my chicken. I can eat a chicken breast. I know it's 0 points. It's probably not the 3 ounces that I should be eating, but I know one chicken breast is not gonna affect us, and it never did.
No.
So that's how we started adapting our meals, always making sure that we had vegetables on our plate, always making sure we had a protein.
We introduced corn and soybeans, and that's why we eat so much corn on the cob now. We got rid of it for many years, and for like 6 years almost, we stopped eating corn, and then we brought it back, and they were like, oh my God, I love corn, and now it became a favorite.
I will say this.
You guys should be drinking a lot of water right now. I don't see corn like 16 times here, people. I'm not seeing water bottles going up here on screen. You guys know the game.
But what I wanted to say was the fact that I want people to realize we did become very good trackers at one point.
Yeah.
When we were in our full on weight loss mode, we were like from that January of 2018
till the end of the year.
Yeah, we were extreme trackers. That's how our success, like we know that's what brought us our success.
It's now that we become lifetime, our tracking is not as
rigid
because we've learned our meals, how to make them. We've learned tricks and we know how to make our meals so that they work. You guys see that our lunches and breakfast are 0 points. That's easy to track. We don't have to worry about it. It's almost like it's an easy game for us.
We've truly embraced and included that as our life now. That is not even a question.
So I now want to bring the Purple program. So last year, Purple came in. And so when Purple came in, we tried it. We tried it and we tried to do Purple, which works for us, but we have a problem with the P foods.
P word.
Pasta, popcorn, and potatoes. We can't control ourselves. So when we were on Purple, we were overeating them. We went from never eating them on Blue or seldomly eating them only once in a while to eating them twice a week or 3 times a week. And we're like, why are we all of a sudden replacing our habits with these new 0 point foods when we were perfectly happy the way we were before?
And I will be saying this as well. We never ate potatoes before, even when we were bigger. We were never big potato people. We were French fries, yes, but mashed potatoes, baked potatoes wasn't our thing. But now that it was on Purple and it was 0, oh, we can have it. Let's have it once a week. Let's have it twice a week. But why is it all of a sudden that it needed to become part of that when we never missed it before?
So that's why we went back to Blue, and we've been at Blue ever since. Now it doesn't mean we'll never do Purple again. The thing is, we know ourselves. We can't control ourselves with popcorn. That was the worst one for us. We would eat like a bin of popcorn a night. Oh, it's 0 points. Might as well have some more. It's 0, 0. And eventually it was just not working. We saw a pattern happening of us overeating again, and we had to curb it. Now, another thing that we want to talk about is we don't always track. That's our 80-20 lifestyle. We never track on vacation. We always go on vacation without
Apparently,
tracking.
we've been on vacation for the last couple of weeks, just at home.
Hey, yeah, there we go. We haven't been to go away. We haven't been to go away.
That's exactly it, guys. Oh, we knew it.
We went on a cruise last year at this time. This is our cruise, okay?
Technically supposed to be on
Yeah, exactly. So what we do on vacation is that we pick a meal each day that we want to indulge in. So when we were in a Greek cruise, we knew that during the day we'd be in Italy, in France, in Spain. So we knew we want to eat pasta, gelato, the breads, everything you can find in those countries. So breakfast was 0 points on the ship. We'd get off the ship, eat whatever we wanted, anything we wanted was on the table. And then that night we would eat a 0 point dinner when we'd be back on the ship. We still drank, we still enjoyed ourselves, but we planned that way without tracking. We did not track the entire vacation. And we did that every day. When we were in the Caribbean, we picked dinners to be more indulgent because the lunches when you're off in the Caribbean, you can get salads, you can get chicken, you can get things to make a meal that's a lower point meal. So on that cruise, we chose dinners to be indulgent, and that's how we navigate that. And so you can use different tricks. That's why we're saying tracking works. You definitely need to track. If you're in your losing state, you're still learning your body and how to do things, track. But when you get to a certain point, sometimes some people, not everyone at all, some people learn a pattern and you learn that certain things work for them. And so tracking doesn't become as big or as an important thing as it used to be. But we still try to do it as much as possible because when we see we start veering off, we come right back to tracking, no matter what.
Definitely, 100%.
So I just wanted to share that. I know there's a lot there.
It was very long-winded.
I know, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people that have their hands up. So let's go. I think Matilda was next,
I was
right?
a puppeteer, my hand would be really tight.
Sorry. I had a lot to say.
Hi, Matilda.
Hello. Hello. Happy
Hello.
Valentine's Day. I know, like Antonetta said the other day, they look like Care Bear ears.
They do.
Hey, long time no chat.
I know, we haven't talked to you since yesterday.
Since yesterday.
I know. Seems like I just talked to you. So I love the topic this week because the last couple of weeks, and I shared it in a few meetings, it's the tracking. I'm great. I've really enjoyed my exercising. I've been really good at that, closing my rings, except for the last 2 days. I've actually been kind of tired, so I've been taking it easy because I've been going for almost a couple of months of closing them constantly. And I thought, yesterday I didn't close one of them, but I was okay with it. Today I'm kind of there, but it is what it is. But it's the tracking. So I'm thinking, I think I'm like you. Sometimes I just I don't want to do it. It's time consuming. It's like, so what I've done is I've paired up with one of the, someone back there from you back east there, Ashley, who is keeping me accountable. So what I have to do is track and send her my tracker every day.
Yeah. And we used to do tracking challenges back in the day. We used to do that on our page, but some people didn't like them because they felt people were judging them by their trackers. And so that's why we stopped doing them. But if it's something that interests people in our group, like Rosie or Ken, if you guys want to do a poll, if anybody wants to do a tracking challenge again, where we ask people to post their trackers every day as a sort of accountability, please do the poll. And if you want to do it, we'll do it again. We stopped because people said that they didn't like it in some sense. So that's why we stopped doing it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really important that we realize that everyone's tracker is going to look different. And again, when we're putting that up there, it has nothing to do what people eat, because it's no one's business what somebody else eats. But it's just saying, hey, look I put my numbers up because this is what I ate today.
Yeah.
So I think making sure that we're not tracking is such an intricate part of this journey, and it's so complicated in its own little way because it is an easy thing to do, but yet it's one of the most difficult things to keep doing.
Well,
right?
Matilda's shaking her head there, but she doesn't know how we track. We've explained our tracking, guys. We use the quick add option, and then we just sum up the points of that meal. So for lunch, if our lunch is 0 points, I just write lunch 0 points. If my dinner is 5 points, I'm having corn, chicken, vegetable quinoa, and some butter on my corn, it's 5 points. I put dinner 5. If I have a bowl of popcorn with a granola bar and some gummies and the whole thing is 9 points, snack 9. I don't do the minutia because I can't do that. It's too much for me, but I am still tracking. So if you have a way, other people do this, take pictures of all your food the entire day. At night, take your phone, look at your pictures, track it then, or track it before.
Someone had a really good idea at Jana's workshop today, and I forget the gentleman's name. He's always there. He's a lovely gentleman, and he has a little black book that he keeps in his pocket. He goes, I love technology and love phones, but this little black book is easy because it fits in my pocket, and I don't have to, and he writes everything out and then tracks it later. So I'm like, and he goes, 1 page is 1 day. I know if I'm going out into the next page, well, maybe I'm going to too many points now. So I love that these little tricks that everyone uses could be beneficial to somebody. Maybe you need to combine some of these tricks as well, right? Not doing, I did
He bought me a coffee. I know.
We saw the
I know. He's like, and then he didn't realize I was on. But yeah, I do the same thing. I do the easy, quick. Like if I know I'm having chicken, or my favorite things right now lately has been stir fries, stir fry chicken, stir fry shrimp, stir fry anything stir fry. So I know that all my vegetables are 0. So when I do like a chicken, I'll put chicken, whatever the points is, track it. And I don't continue going carrots, peas, this, that, right? So I'm doing the quick track as well, because it's quickest and the fastest way. But I figured that was the only way. And if I'm going to have a piece of cake, which I am, because it's Valentine's, I'm going to put it on that tracker, and I'm not going to feel guilty that I'm sending it to her and she's going to see it. I have her because I know she's not going to judge me, and I'm not going to judge her when she sends me her tracker. So you have to have someone that you can trust, that that you're not going to get judged. And then I sometimes like looking at her tracker, because I'm like, oh, she had that. I could do that too. That's a great idea for a recipe.
And I think what we need to take out of this, and what you just said there, when you said, I have that piece of cake and I'm gonna have it, and I needed to track it. That's what we need to do, is just whatever we eat, no matter what, is just track it. We just get lazy. I think that's what it is. It gets lazy.
Because for us, it's the easiest pillar. It's the easiest item for us to stop doing. It's the first thing that always drops off for us. It's always the first thing. And it's weird. It's like everybody has different things. I hear a lot of people say the first thing for me is activity. The first thing I start doing is going for walks. Like when I'm struggling, that's the first thing
I think that would be a great poll to put in the group.
Yeah.
Which pillar do you? I'd love to see the numbers in the group.
We'll ask that later.
We'll set up that poll later, because I think it'd be interesting to see.
Rosie, send us a message reminding
us. Don't forget.
Don't forget.
Thanks so much, Matilda. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Happy Valentine's Day, boys.
So before we keep going with the chat, we did want to talk about, so we got an email today. So we want to share this. Someone that follows us, a fellow WP, actually passed away. We don't want to say the name because we don't know if we're allowed to say the name, but someone from London, Ontario that follows us, that we've met in person. We got an email today from people that know them, that she had passed away. So we're sending our love out to the people from London who know this person. That's the people who sent us the email. If you're watching tonight, just sending you some love. Everyone in the group is also sending you some love to the family of this individual. We've met her.
It was in the newspaper, so I don't think it was
really.
Yeah.
Okay, so her name. I just don't want to take.
Yeah, it was in the newspaper. Someone said that she got the information.
Okay, so her name was Gail Bodden. Gail Bodden passed away. She was in our group. She's in our group.
We met her on Easter of 2019 in WW, and basically with not sure if it's COVID related or not. We don't have any answers to that. But a group of ladies who always met at the workshop would meet on Saturday in Zoom. And this past Saturday, they're like, oh, funny, she's not here. And no one heard from her. And then a couple days later, just like, that was last Saturday, they said they found this story in the obituary.
And we shared the story earlier about people disappearing. So if you know people you see often in these chats and you haven't seen someone, check in. You guys know each other,
especially
right? There's certain people that you know,
right now.
Send messages, say, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Because, we've said it before, when Ellen hasn't showed up for a few weeks, we're like, where's Ellen? And Janet is missing for a while. Like, where did she go? We do wonder about these things. So please just tell someone, it doesn't have to be us, just say, no, I'm still here, I'm just busy. Or if you realize someone's missing, send them a message, just make sure you feel loved, because we all need
we all need this.
We all need the love right now. So let's talk to Janet now. Sorry on that note. Just wanted to make sure to pay our respects.
Hi guys, happy Valentine's Day. Thank you so much. So tracking is it's my nemesis. There's no way around it. It's my nemesis. I told you I don't care what the scale says. I know I still have a cushion of 5 pounds, but since Christmas I put on 5 pounds. I'm lifetimes, and I know I'm going to have little bumps in the road, and it's totally cool, but I want my 10-pound cushion instead of my 5-pound cushion. So because years and years ago, tracking was so bad with my it's so bad that I would do either Simply Filling or something that I did the purple plan, I did Simply Filling, I did the core plan. You don't have to track. Again, I know myself that it's like you guys with your 3 Ps. When I'm on like a core, I can get a container like this of cut up fruit, and I can eat the whole container in one day. So it's like, and I know like 0 is a number, free is a party. So I've basically been having a party with 0 point foods. Like, yeah, I can, so now I went like and did a complete 360. I'm on green where I have to track. So eggs are 2 points, chicken is 2 points, tofu is 2 points. And I have to track, not I have to, I need to track everything.
And I love that, Janet. I love you sharing that because we had someone named Suzette ask us that question today. In a chat, in the actual workshop today. She was asking on chat.
Which plan works best?
And during chat, it was Janet's workshop today. And so we came back and she asked that question and we started explaining because there is no plan that works better. They're all the same. They're just designed differently based on personality traits. If we've explained to you guys our personality traits, that's why we work on blue. Janet just explained her scenario, why she needs to be on green. Someone else in the group right now is probably on purple and saying, you know what, I'm good on purple. I have no problem with the peas. I can control it. I'm good on purple. And that's
they have a party with the peas.
Exactly.
I mean, when you're having, I'm not tracking the 0 point food. So like if I'm having like, which I was having like 3 hard-boiled eggs a day. So it's like, I'm not tracking the 0 point foods. I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm, like I said, I don't care about the number on the scale, but I want, instead of a 5 pound, I'm greedy. Instead of a 5 pound cushion, I'm still under goal. I'm 5 pounds under goal, but I want that 10 pounds just because I was going to get a doctor's note to change my goal weight. And
it's what you feel comfortable with.
And I feel comfortable.
If that's what you feel comfortable with, that's what you should do. But you should also remember that it's okay not to get that 10 pound cushion.
No, and I completely. Oh my God. Oh, look it.
He just wants attention.
That is wicked cute.
So yes, that's sorry, Jen.
So sorry, no worries. It was like, no, animals, I totally get it. No, so it's no big deal. But yeah, I would like the extra. The only reason I would like the extra 5 pounds is so when my doctor writes, because I got a doctor's note, so when my doctor writes the note to lower my goal at 5 pounds, I will be 5 pounds under goal, not 10. So it's gonna work out. But yeah, tracking is just, and green, it's just, it's.
I will say this to anyone out there: try them all.
You need to figure out what works for you. And we've tried all 3. Like we've technically tried green, we've tried blue and purple. And you need probably to try them all to see which one works for you. And I know WW doesn't really say that because it's not something they recommend. They say they say take their survey and then they point to. But I think if you really want to, if you're at a point on your journey and you've maintained for a while and you're like, I've been here for a while, I've never tried green. Maybe try it for 2 weeks. See how maybe that will help you maybe change something. Maybe while you're on green, you'll track your chicken. You guys, wow, the amount of chicken I was eating is 15 points.
You have to do it for 2 weeks.
Exactly. So this is, you can't because I don't feel it and I don't see it and you can't notice it, but it's there, I weigh in once a week just because I need to weigh in once a week. Not this once a month crap because I need the once a week accountability. But you know what? It's like, all right, let's do green. I'm looking forward to green and
no harm in trying it and seeing what it does.
And it's only 2 weeks. And if it doesn't work, then I'll just have to be a lot more mindful. But like I said, I got I got late. I'm not really, yeah, lazy, slacking, whatever you want to call it. So
You're on vacation.
I'm on a permanent vacation.
Thank you so much, Janet.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How do we do that? We're like stereo there. It's like we shared a brain. So I did want to talk about one of the quotes we got from the workshop in Kitchener from Lisa Andrea. Do you remember the one?
We were talking about just the words again, and you know me with words. I'm a huge word person, and Lisa and Andrea came up with what they said, the whole idea of, there's good foods and there's bad foods, and there's good days and there's bad days. And I loved how they changed that to, no, it's not a good or bad day. There's not good or bad foods. There's planned and unplanned days. There's planned and unplanned foods. And I love that.
It's not that cookie's fault.
It's why are we blaming the cookie? The cookie's not bad unless it was like moldy.
It's really good.
Unless it was moldy, then it was bad. But
Exactly.
like other than that, food can't be bad unless it tastes bad, right?
Yeah.
And so I love that whole idea of not blaming the actual item, because they're not the ones picking themselves up and like shoving themselves down your throat. We're the ones actually grabbing that. So, and I don't want you guys to think that you're bad either, but you're unplanned. You're not ready for that. You don't have a strategy in place.
Yeah.
So I really thought that was a really cool concept to play with.
And another thing that we kind of touched upon in one of the workshops was, what you do today will pay back in the future. So a lot of the times we've told a lot of people that our goal is no longer our goal weight, which we do want to achieve our goal weight because, we want to have that. We want to be able not to pay. We get that. But our mindset has changed that the goal now is no longer that weight. It's the end of our life. And we're trying to push that goalpost as far away as possible. We share that. And so what you're doing today is investing in your future. You're doing something today. Yeah, it's work. It's work. But your work today might mean that in 10 years from now, you won't have that heart attack. Maybe it means that in 20 years from now, you won't have that kidney failure because you changed something today.
And I also look at it this way. I pay for internet because I want internet. I pay for it. I pay for it monthly. Why am I complaining about a program that I'm paying into and I'm getting something out of it still? Even if I'm at Lifetime and I'm paying for it, or if I'm not there and because I'm not there by a pound. We haven't
called in yet.
But if I'm not there by a pound, but now I'm paying, like honestly, is that really going to, it shouldn't stop my mentality there. Like the paying of the program should be what
stops me from trying to be
journey.
Healthy. Yeah, your journey, that should not be your reason. Because even if we have people in our group, we've said this before, our Wellness Warrior group on Facebook is for anyone on any wellness journey. We do not say that you only have to be on WWE to be in that group, because we understand people can't afford it. And there's a lot of people losing their jobs out there. And so people all want to be healthy. And so it doesn't matter how you do it. It's just try to invest in yourself today so that your tomorrow will be better in any way you can do it.
There is an acronym someone used at a workshop, and I did not get to write it down. And I'm wondering, it has to do with the scale, and they're calling it LOIS, LOIS.
Which we have
I
a friend
don't
named
remember.
Lois.
Arlene knows. Can you type it in the chat for us, Arlene, or even we'll unmute it right now because I want to hear it again because I was like, oh my goodness, why couldn't it?
So, just so you know, I was trying to raise my hand and the option didn't come up. It just said unmute and rename. There was no raise hand option. Anyway, just thought I'd let you know. So LOIS stands for loss of interesting statistics.
Okay, loss of interesting statistics.
Interesting statistics.
We have a Leslie from Barry saying, no, that's not what it means. 1 second.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this, everyone.
No. I created Lois.
Oh,
Lisa
you did?
will tell you I created Lois. It means lack of important statistics.
Lack of
Lois. That's what it stands for because I created it.
Thank you. I've been dying to know.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Lisa told
Sorry,
you. Right?
my bad.
Yeah, no, it's
lack of
important statistics because it is one tool in everything for your journey. So when you get on it, it's just one thing.
Yeah.
And I named it Lois years ago, and it came up in a workshop about probably like 9 months ago. That's what Lois stands for.
Yeah. They mentioned it today, and I love today or yesterday, and I loved it, Leslie. So thank you so much.
And Lois, our friend Lois, who's here, she's like, I don't like this acronym.
She's like, that's my name.
I'm pretty sure people that are named Karen right now
Are
also
not
don't
liking
like
the
their
name.
name because of all the Karen stuff out there, right? We all have names that there's always a name that comes up and you're like, oh damn it, why have to be my name? Why do you guys get picked this time?
Thank you so much, both of you, for clarifying that. We appreciate it. That was awesome. I love that acronym there. That Lowe's acronym really stuck with me this morning, and I was liking that because it's so true that that machine we depend on so much once a week to dictate how good we are. We don't need it. There's so many other statistics out there that are much more important to actually look at and focus on.
Hey, Devin.
Hi, boys. How are you?
Hey.
You guys look handsome and adorable in your suits tonight.
We knew you were coming tonight, so we thought we'd get dressed.
Thank you for the love for that. But on a serious note, I did go to my doctor's, and you guys are gonna love me again for this. I go to the doctor's, I stepped on their scale and looked down, lost another 4 pounds.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's awesome, Devin. Keep
Thank
going.
you.
Don't stop. You're on a roll.
You're on the right track.
Yeah. And I've been like using all of our stuff that we've been talking about as tips. And like you both said, like this is like a huge match, I like to call it. But yeah, and you guys again so adorable.
Oh, thank you so much, Devin.
Happy Valentine's
An amazing
Day.
job. I love that you share every week. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome. Love you, boys.
Love you too. And now we'll go to Nicole. Hi, Nicole.
Hi there. How are you? I'm very well.
Good.
I'm very
Nice
well.
Valentine's Day. We're off tomorrow. Yay!
And you, yay. I can't hear you.
I totally forgot.
Oh.
I was like, I completely forgot.
Today, I went like, we're off tomorrow. I'm like, yeah. I was like, oh my god, we're off tomorrow. We're off tomorrow.
So exciting.
I felt
Awesome.
like I'm a kid with getting a snow day.
I know. It's kind of a ripoff for the kids, though. I mean, they're getting a snow day on a day off.
Yeah, and it's been a snow day for the last 11 months.
Almost.
Anyhow. So 2 things. I wanted to say thank you to everybody that sort of picked me up this week. I had a moment and I posted about it, and I had some very nice comments about it. So thank you. For me, tracking is actually my best thing. I love tracking. I don't know why. It's kind of like that sort of A-type personality, right? Like you tell me this is the rule, this is what I'm going to do. So yeah, tracking is my thing. And the way I do it is, for me, meal planning is key. So I track my dinner before I even have it. So I know how many points are left over for the rest of my day, and I can spread those out between breakfast and lunch. That's just what's always worked for me. And I just find it easier anyway.
And you know what? It's really funny because it's so funny. Someone mentioned in a workshop about, and I hate bringing gender into this because I hate thinking that men and women and blah, blah, blah. But sometimes there has to be some type of, maybe it has nothing to do with gender, but it has to do either with testosterone or
They said
estrogen.
they were saying in the workshop that for men, tracking is
It's the hardest thing for them to do. And that for women, tracking comes easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering where that falls and how that really
Because we're
does come
lazy.
into play.
Because we're lazy.
Well,
Lazy.
I wouldn't say lazy, just differently motivated.
Yeah.
Like for in our household, my husband also is on WW. So I basically tell him, your dinner tonight is 8 points. Work with the rest of it.
I tell him his points for, well, he knows a lot of
I
the
know.
points.
I'm like, oh, quinoa 3, almonds 1, butter 1, 5. Done.
Yeah. But see, I'm very like, I have everything right down to the, yeah, there was margarine, there was this, there was yeah, it's a little obsessive, but anyhow. And I would just like to tell you guys that tonight is our 2-year discovery-versary, and I made that up. because tonight is the first time I ever found you guys. I was looking for a low point recipe for dessert for Valentine's Day. It was 2 years ago when I started, and I found your crustless Jello pie, and that was what brought me to you. And it has been 2 years, and mwah.
I love hearing those stories because it's so funny. We don't know when people discover us, when people find us, and so. Like, I remember meeting you and your husband the very first time in Ajax. I remember that.
That was in March. That was in March, and we were very new.
But it's funny because we had other people tell us, like, if anybody ever wants to share that story for us, we were mesmerized how people discover us. It's something that for some reason it's such a weird, how did it happen? And we love hearing about that. But someone, Laura Leeson from Brampton, she said that she used to come to our actual workshop with us, and she saw us at our workshop when we were bigger. And then she quit, and a year later she came back and she saw us again. We had lost all our weight. She's like, "What the hell did they do?" And so she started following us then, and then we actually went to classes with her. We did Body Attack with her, but we never knew how she discovered us till recently, like in the last few months. So it's really fun. I love you. Thank you for sharing that. That's
well, Jello pie on YouTube. That's what brought me to you.
Happy Discoversary.
I like Discoversary than Neediversary because that just sounds wrong. It doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Nicole.
Thank you so much for sharing, Nicole.
So we do have
love
time
to see the smile too. I'm so glad you're feeling good right now. That's
amazing. I am 10,000 times better.
So awesome. So we have time for one more person. Everybody else, please keep your hands up after the show. And I think Danielle was next. Sorry if I didn't get the right order.
Yeah, I think Danielle was next.
Hi, Danielle.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So this conversation just like instantly triggered something in my head that I've been lamenting about that had nothing to do with Weight Watchers, but it works. I don't know if you saw like my personal Facebook, I've been like begrudging this paper that I've been working on. And I made the comment of, it's harder to get my brain to just start doing the thing than it is to actually do the thing. And And like yesterday, I finally got to the point, I'm like, okay, I've got the beginnings of this in my head. I'm just going to sit down. I'll write the first couple paragraphs just to get that out of my head. And it ended up plowing like through 3 pages. So I'm like, if I can do the same thing with tracking of, I'll just do breakfast, maybe getting that ball rolling.
You know what? You just gave me something. We've said this, I don't know how many times. We are on our phones all the time. All the time. We know our points. Why are we taking pictures of stuff? Why aren't we? Like, why aren't we doing it to try to at least?
Because on days that we say we track.
Yeah.
On days that we kind of really down about it, we just, you know what I mean? Like, if our mission is to track, we're the same as you. We'll start the day off saying, let's track breakfast, let's track lunch, breakfast, dinner. But then if at some point something happens, we stop doing it sometimes those days.
And this is where doing it as a duo sometimes becomes difficult.
Because if I stop, he stops. And it's like if one of us stops, the other one ends up following suit.
Yep.
Yes.
And so that's interesting, but it's so true. And I said it earlier too. Sometimes tracking is not difficult. It's not a hard thing to do. It's a long thing to do sometimes. In my head, it's tedious. It takes a long time.
And that's it. When I was looking at it from for this example, like I was looking at it as I have to write this whole 12-page paper. When I did it I'm just going to sit down and write a couple paragraphs, you know, so if I can look at it, I'm just going to track one thing. It doesn't look like such a big, scary task.
It's the same thing they say to do for your weight.
Your weight.
Don't say you want to lose 100 pounds, say you want to lose 1 pound. Like that was crucial for us because when we come in with the 100, we would discourage ourselves because that's a hard thing to do. It's not you can get it instantly. So when if you can't get it within a certain amount of time frame, because all our brains are thinking The Biggest Loser, that show aired for 3 months and they lost that much weight in 3 months. I can lose 100 pounds in 3 months. So then you start and you're like, I'm going to do this. And then month 1, 15 pounds and then February comes and then a slowdown happens. And then your weight's not going down. You start going up some days and you say, this isn't working anymore. I'm not losing the 100 that I'm supposed to in that 3 months that they did on that show. I quit. You walk away. But when we came back last time, we didn't say that. We said, I want to lose 1 pound. And then we said 5 pounds. And we said, we want to be in the 270s, the 260s, the 250s, the 240s. And that's how we pushed ourselves to get to the 100 pounds.
But now we got to get to the tracking part.
Yes.
That's the problem. We need to apply that mentality to tracking. So we need to find tools and try them. We talk about them, we need to try them. And that's the thing. We sometimes know what we need to do, we just don't do it.
We're not perfect.
No,
It's the
I'm
one
not saying
thing
we're
we're
not
not good
perfect.
at.
I'm not saying we're perfect and we're ever going to be perfect.
We've got the mindset down, we've
Yeah.
got the activity down, we've got the sleep down.
And it's not doing too bad for us as we speak. We're fingers crossed that we're
yeah.
able to manage this and we're able to get back into any type of, we're able to bring ourselves back when we need to. And so far, so good. We're able to do that. And as long as we're feeling good about our journey, that's the important part.
Thank you so much for sharing, Danielle.
No problem. Have a great week.
Hopefully that paper gets written soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hated writing papers. I won't lie. I hated it.
I have another 2 weeks to finish this and the presentation that goes along with it. So
You can do it.
Do
You
it.
can do
The
it. You
entire
can do
group
it.
believes in you.
Yeah, we'll give everybody a sentence and we'll all write the paper.
Yeah, well, all
for
right,
you.
but let's create a story or
I don't know
something.
if that, I don't know if fast. I'm just letting you know. My talent was 16 points this week.
So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. So there's a few things that we want to just some things that are coming up. So next Saturday is our next Have You Met episode.
Yes, and next Saturday we have you met Melanie?
Yes.
And Melonie's actually from the East Coast. We
Yeah,
met
from
her in
Halifax.
Halifax 2 years ago at a 3 years ago now. A year ago? Oh, yeah, a year and a bit ago. Yeah. So, anyways, doesn't really matter when we met her. So, we met
Before
her,
COVID.
and she really had a compelling and such a.
We cried.
I bawled the entire time. Her
Yeah.
story is really, really very
Touching.
strong and touching.
Yeah.
And it goes to show you never giving up. And this is a fighter. No matter what.
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
Watch
And
this. Yeah.
she hit home to us. And so we finally were able to ask her to do a video with us, and she's our next guest on Have You Met? That's coming up next Saturday. Is the 20th is the video,
And on 21st, she'll be here live again with all of you taking your questions. She'll be part of the conversation. So same thing as last time with Karen. Melanie will be part of this group with us. And we actually filmed another interview yesterday with, she's probably here tonight.
She might be here
I
today.
think she is. Naomi's here. right?
Naomi.
Yeah,
We
we filmed
actually filmed with Naomi yesterday.
Yes.
And then we have another filming on Monday with Wanda Fortier.
Yeah.
And then next Saturday, you just heard Nicole speak, and Nicole's actually going to be with us as well.
And then in March, we have a scheduled date with Jana,
Nolan.
coach from Winnipeg.
Yes.
And we also have an appointment with Carol,
Carol.
walking queen.
Our walking queen as well, which is fantastic because a lot of these people, you've seen their faces, you see them in workshops, you might not
You'll
know
hear their
entire
story.
so you'll be able to get a little bit more of their story. We really want to emphasize that your stories are important, not only to us, but to everybody. And one little thing in your story can change somebody else's life.
So if you want to share your story, same kind of spiel that Karen and now Melanie and Naomi have done, everyone else is doing, let us know. Send us an email, www.gays@gmail.com. We'll share it at the end of the episode. Send us an email with your story. You have to explain to us why your story is compelling. Say why you want to be an interview with us. And we want to interview you guys. Like, just tell us your story. We feel every story is valuable. So we've literally picked everyone so far. Like we really want to showcase different people because we're all different. And we want everyone to come on and watch these episodes and say, wow, that person relates to me. I see myself. I'm exactly like her. I'm single. I'm married. I have children. I don't have children. I'm retired. We want to have stories from all the gamut. So if you think your story is not important, it is. Send us an email if you want to share it, okay? Something else coming up?
Yes, another reminder is Power of 3 Retreat number 2 coming up in March 26th, 27th, 28th. And
There's
FYI,
so much stuff happening, guys.
it's crazy. Like there's gonna
We should say some keywords.
you're gonna see some similarities, but there's going to be a lot of differences as well.
Should we throw some keywords out there?
Like what?
Like laughter?
Laughter, yeah, I
Laughter.
feel like laughing.
like a body?
A body.
Maybe a body. Maybe the words true local.
Oh yes,
True local. There's other words out there that we're working with a lot of people right now trying to make this event. It's going to be almost double the event that you had last time.
And for those of you wondering, please make sure you're available for evening things as well next time. It's going to be all encompassing. We apologize for last time where kind of things happen where we're like, oh, let's add this, and people are like, I get
Hey
it.
guys, I'm trying to convince Jean-Luc to do a concert of him singing on a Saturday night. He doesn't want to do it, and I tell him people will want to hear him sing. If you want him to sing that night, send us messages because he doesn't think so.
So back to the 26th, 27th, 28th.
You knew I was going to do that.
I knew you were going to do that. Yes. But so keep your eyes posted for some info when that comes out, and if you're able to make it, don't feel obligated.
No.
There's no obligation there whatsoever.
And guys, one thing we wanted to share with you guys, some comments that we got last time. This retreat has nothing to do with weight loss. So we want to emphasize that off the bat. It has nothing to do with weight loss. It's about bettering yourself. It's about learning skills to improve your health, improve your mental wellness.
And it can be applied to anything, any journey that you want to apply it to. These are skills that you can apply to.
Exactly. So if you're interested, information will be coming out on the 15th. On 15th this week, we're actually going to post the link again if you want to get information about the next retreat. So you can sign up for that. If you already signed up, you don't need to sign up again, but those who haven't can. And then we'll get more details coming in the future.
Yes.
Next weekend, we're doing on Monday, tomorrow, we're doing 2 workshops.
Yes, we're in Carmel, Indiana, and we're in San Ramon, California.
With Larry and Susan.
Larry and Susan. We love Larry and Susan.
And then next Saturday, we're in Middletown, New Jersey, Greece, New York, Shirts, Texas, Hayden, Hayden, Idaho, and Canada Connect, North Vancouver.
And on Sunday, we're in Apex, North Carolina, Baldwin, New York, Huntsville, Alabama, and Terre Haute, Indiana. I can't say it the way they say it. I'm sorry, I have to say it in French.
So thank you guys so much for joining us. I am going to now share our contact information like we do every week. So give me a few seconds. Hun, you want to say a few things before we go?
Sure. I just hope all of you had a beautiful Valentine's Day with the lovely people in your life. It does not have to be a significant other. It could be absolutely anyone. I've come to realize that this day is not about, it's not about the hallmark. It's not about the cards. It's not about the chocolate. It's about the person you actually love. That's what it's all about.
And as much as, we've been together nonstop now, 24/7 since March 13th, 2020. Every single moment, the only time we've been apart is maybe 1 or 2 hours when one of us went to do groceries on our own. And so we're still lasting, and we still love each other, and we still love spending every moment together. I don't know why you're doing that to me. And he did my hair today.
Yeah, I got it.
He did my hair, and I did his.
I was trying to put tape on his mouth because it's 8 o'clock. We gotta go.
Okay, bye everyone. Have a good night.
Love you guys. Have a great night, everybody.
And Zoom will be right back. So you can do that one. Yes. I'm just gonna stop the share for you. Oh, you know how to do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go.